All right, falafel review. We're at Sajj on 5th Avenue between 82nd Street and 83rd Street in Brooklyn, Bay Ridge. All right, so we're at Dan Ross Park on 82nd Street and 7th Avenue in Brooklyn. The parcel was cut when the Gowanus Expressway was built, so this was highly contentious. It's known as the 7th Avenue approach, which is the approach over to the Verrazano Bridge, which was built in 1964. So at the time when it was planned, the community vociferously opposed the 7th Avenue approach because it basically sliced the neighborhood in half. They built it anyway. So it's named after Dan Ross. He's a longtime community member. He grew up in Sunset Park on that side of the expressway, but has lived on the block since the 60s. He's now since passed away. 60s and 80s, the parks were not as well funded or developed, so this was really just a barren stretch of concrete that often, fell into disrepair, especially with regard to, municipal agencies. And so Dan Ross was a community member, and he would come out here and clean the park up. He would, shovel the snow, rake the leaves, sweep up the garbage, and make it as hospitable of a place to play for local children. So finally in 2002, the city appropriated resources to develop the park and install the playground, and Mr. Ross was recognized at the ribbon cutting ceremony. His contributions as a volunteer were known to the community. So they named the park Volunteer Park. Effectively, they just couldn't name it after him until he had passed away. So he did pass away 2 years later. He doesn't have any family, unfortunately, but this is his legacy, Dan Ross Park. All right, so we got Sajj on 5th Avenue in Brooklyn. Let's see how it is. All right, so here's the first view. Definitely a different approach than other places. This is more of a wrap than a pita, but still looks really good nonetheless. You got some pickles, some radishes. This place is definitely more of a sit-down restaurant than a falafel stand, but definitely a legit sit-down restaurant, and this looks good. Yeah, this is a symphony of flavors. Because of the shape and size, it's all wrapped together well, so you get all the toppings evenly distributed. A few bites in. The white sauce is more of like a tzatziki sauce than a tahini. This is a Lebanese place, so I don't know if there's anything cultural behind that. This wrap, it's more of like a large burrito wrap. A few more bites. And what's good about the size is it's just physically easy to eat. One bite, and it doesn't get all over the place. It doesn't really drip. All right, final bite, final verdict. This is really good. Wasn't expecting that kind of pita. Wasn't expecting the tzatziki kind of white sauce, which actually does taste really good. There's even fresh parsley in there, which normally I wouldn't like. And, again, this is a sit-down restaurant. I paid $10 for it. And actually, this is only half the sandwich. I still have another half that I'm going to probably save for later. This is an 8.9.